Yo, yo, yo. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1. Let me get my shit together. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1. What up? Can you hear me? Is this thing on? Yesterday, I had a problem with it being on at this moment. Experienced some type of industrial espionage, sabotage. A saboteur, in fact, was in my midst, apparently. You saw the caption, you saw the thumbnail, you see the title, fucking up the church's money. I had a great, well, it was kind of an enigmatic day. And roughly about a half hour ago, just all went to shit. And you knuckleheads are going to get the lot of it. Before we do any of that, though, here's something that cheered me up. I found this cheerfully. Oh, so they got a bottle section now at Popeyes. Section at Popeyes. That's always nice. Nothing about that pisses me off. Section at Popeyes. Congo, you already know where we're going with it. Oh, it's going to be one of those, y'all. Strap it on, strap it in, let's go.
And now it's time to play everybody's favorite game. Good news. We are talking about combination. Jesus Christ. We can't run.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I like this one. Not a Pepsi guy. Damn. Sometimes stereotypes be right sometimes. Now, I'm going to be kind of all over the map. I'm going to let y'all know that right now. If you are averse to life and sports intersecting, this would be a good time for you to jump out. I wouldn't even be mad at you. I would not be mad at you. Come back and check in on me tomorrow. What up, fishing?
Every day in my hood, I bang. I'm a nice worker.
If you are not the type of person that appreciates some real life sprinkled into your evenings, what you thought was going to be your evenings sports talk conversations, I don't mind it. Check out. It's all good. It'll be fine. Or it won't. But I'm going to try and balance it out. I'm going to try and balance it out. Okay? But if you're the type that's like, I don't fucking give a goddamn about that, keep it sports, fucking sports jockey. That's fine. Doesn't bother me at all. feel free to check out. I know normally people wouldn't tell you that, but I'm telling you, this might not be the stream for you. But I'm going to use Marcus Jordan as the backdrop because I think I can do that. I'm going to paint the slide, and I think I can weave Marcus Jordan in as the backdrop for my real life conversation. I think I can do that.
Super duper. That's nice. Way to go. Neato, gang. Yes, boy.
Okay. All right. Only adults in the room. I do that just to get the adults in the room because what I don't want is for the guy to come into or the gal to come into the comments and say something that I'm already kind of on edge. So I don't want somebody to come in that wasn't prepared. That was my disclaimer. If you're still here, I welcome you. If I have to talk to myself for the next half hour to 45 minutes to an hour, I'm fine with that too. But if you're still here and you jump in with that John fucking talking, God damn, you're gonna get it. I'm telling you. I'm just letting you know. I'm locked and loaded, and I'm firing. You feel me? Now there's trade talk to be bantied about. Will Kevin Durant's on the trading block? Did y'all see this? I'm gonna try. Marcus Jordan, I'm coming to you, brother. Don't you worry. How dare you, with your father's legacy, do what you did? And I'm not even talking about doing cocaine. It ain't the cocaine. I ain't even talking about the cocaine. It ain't the cocaine, Jack, I'm talking about. But real quick, is Kevin Durant's on the trade block? Is that real? And it's being bantied about that he might be sent back to Golden State. And you remember his reaction to the Luka trade? I'm not staying here long. I'm just saying that's crazy. That's kind of crazy. They're talking about maybe Dallas, maybe Nico Harrison could, totally redeem himself and somehow work a deal that gets Kevin Durant to Dallas. I don't know what you do. I don't know, give up Lively. You'd have to give up a lot. Why didn't you just get picks? So that's not going to happen. I think that's been blown over, but he's on the trade block. Whatever. We know the Nuggets aren't going to do anything. I don't feel like talking about that shit anyway. But I have to do the job. I got to do the thing. So there's a piece of sports. There's a piece of sports that you could talk about. People asking funny questions at the Super Bowl. We're getting crazy at the Super Bowl, and some guys are bold with it, like this guy, who I thought this is cute. This is cute. This is a guy who he's out there asking bold questions. I don't know who the guy is, but he asked this question.
Swift or phantom 15-yard roughing the passer penalties in the playoffs?
That's a good question. Anybody else?
He's out there getting clever. Oh, Super Bowl week coverage. It's just like, get to the fucking game. I could give it. There's only one press conference that happened today that I care about. If you saw your president and that demon Bibi Netanyahu standing side by side, that's what's in my craw. Oh, we're going to own Gaza now? That's what we're doing? Cool. That doesn't sound dangerous for any Americans. We're going to own it. Turned it into, I believe he said, the Riviera of the Middle East, the French Riviera of the Middle East. Oh, that's what we're doing? Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. Yeah, I love this one. For sure. I'm just here so I don't get fined. I wish somebody would just go with that. Just get to the game. Just get to the game. You feel me? Love some real life shit. Well, it's coming. Like I said, and if I just got to sit here and rant by myself so I feel okay, I'm all right with that too. Don't worry about it. I got it. Don't even trip. That's good news. Means numbers are good. Reception is good. Boss approves. Yeah. Are you sitting on an exercise ball? I am sitting on a BOSU ball. I sit on a BOSU ball. You got to, in life, take the wins where you can get them. And for everybody who works or does something sedentary, sit on an exercise ball. It forces you to keep your spine erect. It's better on the coccyx too. Your grandma broke her coccyx. What did you say? Your aunt broke her coccyx. No, I'm not standing. I will stand at times. I can lift my shit up. I can raise my screen, but no, I'm not standing. I'm sitting on a BOSU ball. Conga, you got great. Is that a face tattoo also? Yes, I have this tattoo right here is a adinkara. It's an African symbol. It means God is in heaven because your brain, you're smart enough. God is in here. Man, you guys, I'm missed the opportunity for. I'm just saying. Oh, I missed that one. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't like that. No shit was. Oh man, Timothy Rimothy. I just called the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic to keep my back erect. Oh, okay. I fuck with you fishing. So there was also Patrick Mahomes caught one of these, caught a stray. He caught the same kind of questioning. Where was that Patrick Mahomes one at? Here it is. Here's Patrick Mahomes.
Career, you have had so many. Patrick, for your whole career, you have had so many great people help you win. So who is your favorite ref?
That's hilarious.
All the refs are great, man. All the refs are great. They do the best they can. We go out there and play the game the right way.
Is there one that you give a Christmas card to every year, possibly?
Not that I can remember. I'll have to talk to some of my teammates and we can try to figure it out.
Patrick, for your
That's
whole
cute.
career, you have had.
You know what I mean? Guys being bold at the Super Bowl, asking questions. We all have it on our mind. Is the fix in? Have the Kansas City Chiefs been knighted the new thing to do when it comes to dynasties and NFL dynasties? And are they getting a little push, a little help, just a little help from their friends? Fishing don't like them kind of conversations. I thought that was cute. But as far as press conferences go, that didn't entertain me today. Well, it did initially. I had a whole riff about it. And then I watched that fat personification of all that is colonialism stand next to that demon, Bibi Netanyahu, and basically declare that we're heading into more unrest in the Middle East with the U.S. at the center of it. Because guess what, guys? We're going to own Gaza. The fuck? People's lives hang in the balance. And when we decide to congregate here and have these conversations that are sports related, there's a part of me, I'm not going to lie to y'all, that always just feels like it's super irresponsible. Because what I should be doing is doing what I'm doing now and saying things like, there's no way in the world that having not paid the penance of sins past, that this country needs to be embroiling itself into that type of conflict, because it's not just land. And I'm not even talking from what I hold true to as a spiritualist. God is in heaven. My affiliation is definitely no longer of the Abrahamic faiths. Having said that, if you've watched anything from October of 2023 to now, you know that place has been inflamed by what seems like ethnic cleansing. And for the United States of America and to decide, for that fat fuck to decide that that's the best course of action to do, we're not 2 weeks in. Okay, let's talk about sports, though. It's going to get worse. Trust me. But I'll weave it in. I'm going to weave it in. We're running the 3-man weave. I'm going to weave it in. Because the truth of the matter is, fuck the Super Bowl. If we decide that what's coming next is the U.S. setting up what I could only assume to be another military installation, smack dab in the middle of Gaza. How do you think that's going to go over well with the people that they always would love to paint as the terrorists? The great American empire. And if it goes poorly for them over there, it stands to reason that eventually it'll go poorly for us over here, because I'm fairly sure that the brown people of that region are sick of being fucked with by the empire. And so when you step out there and you say, we're going to own it, what message, after this whole ceasefire bullshit, what message do you think that sends to the people that they want you to believe are your enemy? That's what they'll tell you. Imagine living in Denver and having people from Las Vegas, or let's say Kansas City, decide that they want to own Denver. And then forcibly try to take it. And this has been going on, let's say this has been going on for the better part of 70 years. And then the people of Kansas City call you, the people of Denver, terrorists because you decide to fight. Yet I digress. Okay, Marcus Jordan. I gotta say, this is who your dad was. This is who Marcus Jordan's dad was. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Look at Michael Jordan. The intensity of Michael Jordan. That's a foul. Okay. And why? And I love the caption. I promise, bro, the 2 points are not this serious. This is what your dad. This is, oh my God, Chris Mullin and Horace Grant. No care for Horace. Come here, Horace. Let me use your shoulder. Chris Mullin. Bap in your face. Michael Jordan was the America of 90s basketball. What Gaza? What? Bitch. Ruthless. Michael Jordan was the Bibi Netanyahu of the 90s NBA. Bow, bitch. I didn't. That's not just a foul. I'm gonna go all the way with it. This is who Marcus Jordan's dad was. Marcus Jordan's dad, Michael, was so ruthless. I bet you Chris Mullin did make that shot. Chris Mullin was a baller. Chris Mullin was a baller. Marcus Jordan's father was so dialed in that he had not one but two sons that hooped for real, and he was part owner, full-fledged owner of a whole squad. Neither of those sons got a cup of coffee. This is why Marcus Jordan acts the way that he behaves, I believe. I agree. It's not ours. End of story. It's a shame that those people have been fighting for millions of years, and there's nothing that can be done to change the minds of either side. I think what's a shame mostly is that, listen, y'all, I was born and raised in America, first generation American. Father from Congo, mother from Guyana, South America. Think Jim Jones. There are people of my ilk, obviously, that had to deal with the expansion of the British Empire and then the splitting off and then skullduggerous fucking traitors telling King George, that's the Declaration of Independence, telling King George, yeah, we know you sent us over here to scout this shit out, but we don't really like that plan anymore. We're going to do it on our own. And then off they go into the wild blue. Let's make America, and then make America great again eventually, right? So that's the history of this country. Never mind. Oh, nice land that you guys all live in there. Mind if we discover it? These are the auspices under which this country was created. And so fast forward 400 some odd years, we're left to go, yeah, I mean, that happens, but it's not that bad. You know, it was a long time ago. We're sorry. Okay, cool. Throw slavery in there. It's not really, but we're sorry. Okay, cool. You just go along the line. Hey, Puerto Rico, that's not ours. Yeah, it is. Alaska, that's not ours. Yeah, it is. Hey, Hawaii, that's not ours. Yeah, it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got a country that American exceptionalism, we're trying to do our best. And it's like, everyone wants to believe that. Everyone so desperately wants to believe in 2025. We're past all that. Okay, I don't believe it. And then he's like, we're going to take Greenland. And you're like, that sounds weird. Hey, we're going to take Canada. Now, granted, Canada and America, it's one and the same. So maybe they should be the 51st state. You know what I mean? They play our sports. They're always gleaning off us, taking, their guy wants to be the head of hip hop. That's fine. Whatever. Okay, Canada. And then it's like, oh, the Panama Canal, we're going to go ahead and grab that. We don't live in any of these places, mind you. So it's called imperialism. And everyone's trying to act like, especially sports fans, like this isn't happening. No. The Super Bowl's on its way. This is what's important. And it's like, yeah, until shit starts blowing up. Anyway, don't want to say that. So it's like, okay, we're watching trade. Oh, the trade deadline. Luka's on his way to LA. And then this fat orange 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. You do not have empirical data to prove that. So I welcome your opinion on it, but show me. Listen, this is what we got to get. This is what we got to get away from. Okay, you got to get away from just attributing things to things without the empirical data, because every other countries are still in the places where they have always been. And there is no empirical data that says that Nigeria, for instance, or Al-Kabuland is what Africa was called before Europeans showed up and started carving it into pieces and calling it things. That's just history. And so they were there. Now, the Moorish Empire did branch out. They were in America by the time Columbus landed here. They came before Columbus. Great book. You should read it. Now, we like to say, because Western exceptionalism says, well, just paint everybody. This is the way of the world. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. That's literally not how that works. And so you'd have to show me evidence, historical evidence of this branching out. The Asian empires, whether it's China or when they'll tell you Genghis Khan, he was a great conqueror, but show me the Americas of the Genghis Khan. It doesn't exist. That didn't happen. They stayed where they were. And the nature of conquering is something that wars, one thing, trade, one thing, conquering and colonizing is a very Western European phenomenon. And you got to get out of that. Oh, everybody did it. That's not how that works. Or otherwise, show me the proof. It doesn't exist, because that's not how it worked until the Europeans decided that the best thing to do would be to make the whole world yours. The sun never sets on, and that started before them with the predecessors to which would be the Romans. The sun never sets on you feel me? And the Roman Catholic Church played a huge part in it. Those are historical facts. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And again, my problem is that in general, if we are to live in a world where my daughters don't have to worry about, well, I don't have to worry about, because I worry about it, and you got kids. If we want to live in a place where our children don't have to worry about poor, I don't want to say poor, because it's a marginalizing, where people who have been done dirty in other lands feel like their only recourse is to strike back against the empire, then we have to have leadership that decides that what's most important while there are homeless people in America is to fix America before you are occupying Gaza, which, by the way, of all the places that you could occupy, this is important. At this moment, after what's been happening in that region for the last year, with a lot of Palestinians in America who were already pushed to a limit, as rightfully so, because if you watched your family being burnt, right, and those people are here, well, that puts you at danger. So fuck what you say history was. I'm done. I'm going to go back to not talking about, I'm going to try not to talk about these things. America allows everyone person here to be rich. Poor also relates to laziness in this country. Fishing, I love you. I really do appreciate healthy conversation. So, and that's a whole nother kettle of fish. How borders were created? I'll tell you how borders were created. You got to get, okay, hold on. One second. There's some great authors who, you know, just were able to detail. I'm not smart enough. You know, I didn't go to book. I read books, but I didn't go to school for history, right? But I read books about, you know, from people who studied this shit. And there are just the carving up of lands, like Africa was named after a guy named Africanus. That's not the name of that place. AFRICA. Imagine Africans using the English language to name their land, using the English alphabet or the alphabet to name their land. They probably wouldn't do that. So that's just a clue to you as to who named it that. And then all the places that are spelled with English letters, right? That are spelled with our alphabet, probably should gives you some indication as to who named it that. And the carving up of those places and borders, that's not a freedman's way of being. So this is a nice book, When Egypt Ruled the East. Great book. George Steindorf, Keith Seal, which explains what life was like before the outset of the British Empire. And this is a good one. I would suggest that you get it and you read it. Ancient Egypt, Light of the World, Gerald Massey. Great book. Which also kind of depicts the world. And these are books that depict the world before the branching out of the Catholic Church, the Holy Roman Empire, and then what would be the West after that. So those are just things. And carving the world up into borders is I know you don't want to hear this, but it's a very Western idea. It's a very Western idea. And at a certain point in time, like think back before, like Columbus sailed 1492. So the Moors moved up into Europe in 700 AD and basically ruled Europe until 1491, and then Columbus sails the world in north. And at that point in time, Spain, over the course of, let's say, the 200 years before, the 200 to 300 years before Columbus sails the ocean blue in 1492, that's when you start seeing these delineations and, you know, very strong delineations on the European continent. And then that mentality was exported to the world. As historians tell it. What do I know? I'm just an idiot talking on the internet. You mean when Indians were slaughtering each other for the land? You're going to have to see, saying that sounds good. Saying that sounds good. But saying that sounds good. War is a thing. War is definitely a thing. And everybody's fought them. But war is definitely a thing. And everybody's fought them. Their historic record exists for a reason. And so I just trust the history, not that I trust European written history. And those things are more propagandized in order to palletize the expansion of empire than they are things that are anthropologically proven to be true. Like Genghis Khan, what I found out was crazy is that, you know how many, his form of conquering was fucking. he was really on that Breedom shit. And this isn't to castigate anyone. This is more to castigate not a race, but a mindset this is more to a mindset of a conglomerate, that being Western civilization. That doesn't mean European. It does by, delineation, obviously, but yet I digress. To say borders ruling Western things is just wrong. That's where Crusaders were trying to take. Well, I mean, people obviously occupied tribal tracts of land, but the carving of the world into a map, It just progresses as you see past the 13 and 1400s. I'm not saying that there weren't lands and this land was occupied by these people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just, a passport. And this is for you, brother. This is for you and me. One of your inalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And the losers blame others. Yeah, okay. I mean, I think this is the best. I definitely have done my homework, but I don't want to espouse things that are untrue. So what I will say is agree to disagree. But apart from that, let's pull it forward. All I'm saying is that for you and your little people, just like me and my little people who aren't so young, they're grown. It's not in our best interest. And for you and me, it's not in our best interest to expand more unrest and hatred and violence. There's been enough of that. And it's just not in our best interest. Let me get to I told y'all, and I really do. I appreciate the conversation. And listen, this is true. This is not untrue. Violence and men seeking to solve their problems by means of violence is not just a European thing. I said colonizing and colonization is a very European concept. That's just a fact, right? Because where then would be the Egyptian colonies? They don't exist. Egypt was, you feel me? Colonization is all I'm talking about, right? Trying to occupy a place where you physically aren't. That doesn't mean trade routes. That doesn't mean emissaries. That doesn't mean, you know what I mean? We do that here regardless of who's in charge. Why care about it in other countries? Oh, because again, what I'll tell you is if for those of us that were, and I'm quite sure you were, if you've been paying attention to everything from October 7th, this is why I'm upset about this one in particular. Everything since October 7th. No, but yes. And it's okay because not you. You don't have to internalize or personalize. I blame people of power because at the end of the day, who sits at the bottom? Who sits at the bottom are those of us who are not in aristocracy, right? It just so happens, and I get it. I get why you say that. I completely understand why you say that. And it shouldn't feel like that. And it's unfortunate that our leadership and people in power above my pay grade have chosen to act in ways that would call attention, if you're just paying attention, call attention to their actions and then paint everyone with a broad brush. True, you'll never hear someone not upset about what happened. Their ancestors, I'm Polish. Pretty shitty thing when the Germans did Poland. Exactly. It happens to everyone. All I'm saying is that the Western world behaves in a way, and you can't get around that, and you can't call that exceptionalism. Because what ends up happening is when you tell people, I'm going to take what's yours, and you just say, well, this is the way of the world. Okay, cool. But then when those people decide, because you don't think they can, to strike back in whatever way that they can strike back, and then it affects you close to home, then it's like, that's a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem for you and me, because you know who usually doesn't suffer the consequences of the higher ups decisions? The higher ups. They don't go and fight in wars. They don't send their kids to fight in wars. Hendon blames me. I'm the one to blame. I'm always the one to blame. Who gets hurt though is us. And I'm just tired, y'all. I really am. And I didn't want to do this. And I appreciate anybody who's riding with it. Listen, I'm not here to cast aspersions on anyone in this league of extraordinary men and women. But I do think it's important that we start having real conversations. And if this isn't the platform, I get it. I really did try, and I'm going to get to this Marcus Jordan thing. I really did want to come in here and I'm not in a good mood, y'all. I just saw the thing 45 minutes ago. I just saw it, and I'm just like, it's hard for me to come in here and go, guess what happened in sports today? When everything in my being is like, fuck these guys that make decisions that affect you and me. That's really my point. Now, the historical aspect to these things are real things that I do think we need to talk about, because I think that if there's a real clear understanding of what it means. I was on Twitter the other day. I'll give you an example. I didn't come into haymakers. Listen, I was on Twitter the other day, and I just saw a guy who said something about, like in South Africa, what's happening is that there's a reannexation. There's a writing of the apartheid wrong happening. And then you see the other side saying, this is not cool. And then people are like, don't I want to hear you cry about that? And it was just a thing. Anyway. Point is, yeah, nothing happened in sports today, if we want to be honest. There was, we could talk about it. I don't know. The CU schedule came out. Does anybody care? You guys care? I don't give a shit when this stuff happens. And I really do care about, I care about two things. I care about people on the lower rung, and that is irrespective. I am a Fred Hampton type of dissident. Okay. I'm a Fred Hampton type of guy who I believe that it is those of us in the 99% that need to coalesce and turn to our leadership and say, we don't like the decisions that you're making because of the way that it affects our lives. So before you want to own whatever tract of land in God knows whatever country it is that's not here, how about you bring the price of eggs down? Because that's what you promised to do. Before you decide that you're going to annex whoever's that nigga, that's not yours type stuff, how about you make sure that our veterans are taken care of and not in the streets and are homeless? Before you, and you can just go on. You just go through these things. And so then it's like, because there's going to be inherent disconnects between people because people feel close to that. And I get that. And Fish and I fuck with you. Like, I can't wait to get back to Colorado to like meet up with some of y'all and just really like midrash, interface. You know what I mean? Like have some time because we have so much more in common than we have that's different. We do. But there's also these sticky areas where people feel like I can sit and talk to. I'm not a particularly avid liberal. I came out of that world, but I'm not any longer because I think that those people are kind of with some of the shit that they're on. But it doesn't mean that I can't sit and talk to them. And there's going to be tense moments of disagreement, but then there's going to be moments when we realize, oh, I don't have to agree with everyone that I like. That's not what that is. Right. And the same thing goes. I'm not an extremely, Republican type person. I'm more libertarian. That's me. I'm a don't tread on me guy. And then I realized I got a lot of homies. I got friends that are kind of like my DJ Lewis side, staunch Republican vote. I don't understand how it is, but he is. But we can come together and we agree on certain things and other things we don't agree on, but we find our commonalities and that's where we mesh. It's our commonalities, not, and it doesn't have, no one wants to be a monolith of thought because it's a tapestry. But until we sometimes have these really hard conversations, I don't think we're ever going to, because it's us that represent the changes. It's us that represent it's us that represent the changes. It's not the people up top. But if we don't start talking about these things, and if we allow our attentions to always be diverted to distraction, I don't want to talk about that. Distraction, that's not where I want to be at. Distraction, I don't want to. Then we're not going to see the changes that we want. And I got kids, man, that deserve to have a world. I can't be a part of handing them this shitty world where their dad didn't do whatever the fuck. And so if I can get on here and chop it up with y'all and build not a consensus that we all agree, but just start excavating and showing our generation too, especially because they don't have this problem. The younger ones don't have this problem. Maybe they're all on the same page. Maybe they all kind of see things the same in places that I don't completely agree on, but they talk about these things. And we were indoctrinated into, you don't talk about your politics, you don't, and it's just created these silos. And in these silos, you form these opinions and no action gets taken and no coalitions are built. And then fucktards sit up top and make decisions that truly, I'm serious about this, put you at danger. It sounds extreme. I know, but I'm serious. The decisions that people make put you at danger. Okay. I like how the right. that kind of spreads it out, right? Michael Jordan completely annihilating Chris Mullin. Smack. Get up. Look like yes. Yeah. That was 90s basketball. Okay. Hold on. Now look at now I said at the thing, I said Marcus Jordan is fucking up the church's money. And it ain't because of getting popped doing cocaine. I think we all know the story. We all know this, just teabagging this shit. Exactly. There's my guys. There we are. Yeah. There we are. Brick killed a guy. Mike killed a guy. That is nice.
Super duper. That's nice.
It is a great rerun, isn't it? All right. Okay. Let me tell you why Marcus Jordan isn't. Now, getting popped for cocaine is one thing. Getting popped for cocaine is like, okay, who among us hasn't allowed the tooted and booted to get a little, get ahead of you, and then you're driving along. Hold on. Let me get some of these thoughts in here. We'll only make better decisions when we have the courage to practice true compassion and empathy. Until then, we are fucked. I agree with that. Let me get some of your thoughts in here before I move on to why Marcus Jordan is a fucking tool bag. Yes and no. You can become rich if you try hard and go the right avenues. Yes. You can be poor for being a piece of shit. There's a gray area of being rich or poor. Doesn't come down to trying hard. I agree with that. I think some parts of this thing are set up for losers. There have to be losers in order for the thing to run itself. Think California pouring billions of dollars into their homeless problem, and there's still being a homeless problem in California. It's like people line their pockets, but if you run out of homeless people, what am I going to line my pockets with? You kind of feel me? To say the borders are only a Western thing is just wrong. What were the Crusaders trying to take? They were trying to take resources that were underneath people's feet. That doesn't mean that those people boarded their lands, is all I'm saying. A free coming and going. That's how trade worked. You think you had to have a passport back in? Like, borders means you can't come here. I put the border up, and now you can't freely come. Now, except for if you're in the United States of America, you don't need a passport. But like in Europe, you can hop on a train, you go from France to Germany and whatnot, whatever. But if you're coming from outside of there, they're like, oh no, let's see your passport. And it's like, what? I was born. I just slid out of my mother's vajayjay, right? And then I'm a being in this world, and quite honestly, that right in your Bill of Rights, the pursuit of happiness, I can't pursue happiness if I'm not allowed to just go. Passports, all that shit, it's bullshit. And you're being put in a box. I'm sorry. Call me a hippie. You do got to remember that the victors write the history books. Yeah. So when they tell the truth, they're telling you that, how the predecessors to Western imperialism ran the world, I tend to believe them because these are the victors who wrote these books. That's all I'm saying. And the losers blame the others. Yeah. Okay. Do that regardless of who's in charge of the countries. Colonization equals blame the white man. I do not believe that. I just know that ends up being a thing because that's who Western colonizers are. They're white. But I think that it's a mindset that can be very, very human. I think it's a very human mindset to take what's not yours. When the word is used, it's implying only white people did those things. When history says slavery and colonization started well before America, it's used as a victim excuse. Okay. Agree to disagree, but fair point in the beginning. Okay. Oren came and thrown no Hager. Okay. Let's get to Marcus Jordan being an asshole. All right. So there's a lot of things you can do. Getting popped for cocaine. Okay, whatever. Before that, sleeping with Scottie Pippen's wife. I thought it was extremely disrespectful. And I think Michael Jordan has kind of created a monster. I think I think I think what ended up happening somewhere along the lines, Michael Jordan's tough exterior created a monster with his son. And this is not just, this is like a cry for help. Here's what you don't do. Sure, sleep with Scottie Pippen's wife. Okay, fine. Do blow, drink, and drive. I don't recommend it for anyone, but okay. Whatever. That's fine. Here's the part I found extremely. You see the caption.
You know the trains come by right now, right?
No, I know. That's why I'm trying to get better.
We thought we were making a right, and I turned onto the train tracks apparently. I'm trying.
You're off the
Not
rails.
getting back in the car right now, okay? The reason why, So
Give me a favor. Keep your hands out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Man. Keep your hands out of your pocket.
there's nothing in my pocket.
That's all. I'm gonna take you down and look at that.
He's blown out of his mind. He's out of his gourd.
You know, bro, I'm Marcus Jordan. I'm Michael Jordan's son.
Why would you say that?
Anything wrong? I'm just trying to get home, and I made a wrong turn.
Why would you say that?
Okay, and clearly,
I am Marcus Jordan. I'm Michael Jordan's son. What the? At that moment, Michael Jordan cry face. Hold on. At that moment, it's like, what? Why you drag me into this? I'm Marcus Jordan. I'm Michael Jordan's son. Oh, awesome. Like, the do you know who I am gone completely wrong. This, mind you, is happening in Florida, which makes Marcus Jordan, Florida guy, for real, for real. Hey, let me drag my famous father into this. Complete circus. Good. Hold on, let me read that back. Like, why?
we would just like to get our car off of train tracks.
We would just like to get our car.
We were not trying to be on. I've already got concerns for your level of impairment, anyways. Okay, so that's why.
Why?
Because like it's not alcohol coming from you, and you're on train tracks. Okay, so come on, man, just listen to me.
Hold on. I wish there was a rewind. I'm concerned about you. Why? Because you're doped out of your mind. You smell like booze, and by the way, you're sitting on train tracks. Yeah, but why? What's the big deal? Are you trying to off yourself? Is this a cry for help?
That's why I don't want you back behind the wheel, anyways. Okay.
I'm fine behind the wheel. I just would like to get my car out of
We'll
this.
deal with that after this. Okay. We'll deal with that after this. But that's why I had to get you out of the car. Okay. Because I hear spinning tires. I hear slurred speech from you. You're driving on train tracks.
I'm not slurring anything, and I'm.
Yeah, you are. Here's the thing, Marcus. Is yeah, you are. Hold on. Okay.
I'm letting you know. I have concerns.
I have concerns.
Well,
For your
I
level of
appreciate
impairment
that.
Driving a vehicle. I can't let you back behind the car and drive a vehicle.
I appreciate your concern.
Yeah, I don't want.
But I am not inebriated. I'm not.
What do you guys think? Do I need to run a poll? Who thinks that Marcus is inebriated? One's in the chat if you think Marcus is obliterated. Inebriated. He's one of those. I used to be this kind of drunk. I used to be this, where it's like I could do just enough to pull it off. I could do just enough to pull it off. Like, I don't know, he might be all right. No. I'm not.
Anything that cannot drive home.
904640.
The thing is,
my job is to keep everybody safe.
I'm not familiar with this area.
I said, listen. Wait, innocent until proven guilty for sure. This nigga said, I'm not from around here. You always got to try the not from around here. One of my biggest, like if I'm going to do something, like if I'm going to flip a bitch, if I'm going to pull a Yui in an area of town where you're not supposed to do a Yui, you know what I say while I'm doing the U-turn? Not from around here. Not from around here. Not from around here. You know, when you come to those places, like you're going out of a parking lot and they make those parking lots where it's like, you can't turn left. You can only go right. But I really just need to go left. So I'm going to hit that left. And what I say while I'm doing it is, I do it safely. Not from around here. Not from around here. And somehow it just wards off any police interaction. It's worked up until this point. So I figured, fuck it. I'll keep it going.
I made a right.
Right?
Delta,
I thought I was making a right onto the highway.
99,
I made a right onto
20,
train track.
1012.
Where did you turn that, man?
I wish I could tell you, but
You're way down.
That sounds like a totally sober answer. Where did you turn? Here's the thing. I have no idea. The officer, I have no idea. But I'm sober as a judge. Yeah, but so where were you coming from? Did I tell you that I was Michael Jordan's son? Michael Jordan's my dad. Could you call my dad and make this any more embarrassing for my dad? Is your camera? Is that on? Oh shit.
On the train track. That's what I'm saying. It's not like you just.
we're not way down the train tracks. We made a right and another right.
I'm just letting you know there's no physical possible way in this universe that we can push this car off the train track.
I disagree with that.
Oh, I don't care if you disagree or not. Okay, I'm letting you know.
I mean, I get that, but
we're not getting you back behind the wheel. Okay, not at this moment. Okay, there possibly is a train.
This would have only gotten better if the train would have come through, and it's like, ding dong, ding 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 dong. Whatever he's driving, Maybach, whatever he's driving, is just obliterated.
Train coming. Okay, so we need to get off these tracks. That is my concern right now. For you guys' safety and our own. Okay?
Man,
bro, you can't get the car off and we're not pushing it. You are stuck. Come here.
you know the trains come by right now, right? No, I know. That's why I'm trying to get out of here. We thought we were making a right, and
Jesus Christ. Do you know how? Listen, I don't think Marcus Jordan has any obligation to his father to be anything other than his own entity, right? It's tough. Those are big shoes to fill. Those are huge. Like, it's a lot of pressure to be. Could you imagine being Michael Jordan's son and you weren't good at basketball? Could you imagine being the greatest player of all time, arguably the greatest player of all time's son, and end up being brawny? I'm going to lay off the kid. Fuck it. Nepotism. Look at the difference. Like, do you think that Marcus Jordan's, the older Jordan son, Jeffrey, you'll never hear from that kid. He stays low. He keeps a low, super low profile. The daughter, Jasmine, is actually, I think she's head of Jordan Brand. So the daughter's doing well. The oldest one, the son, Jeffrey, he just keeps a low pro. He just keeps it low pro. Just, nope, not going to be me. I'm not going to be the one. And then Marcus has just been like, he's like Hunter Biden. But look, if his dad would have just, I feel like if his dad would have just Bronny James'd him, if he would have just, fuck it, my son can't play, but I'm Michael Jordan. Of course my kid can play, and you guys are going to let him. Then you get it out of your system. You don't feel like everybody's looking at you like, it's fucking Michael Jordan's kid, look. And he's like, oh, yeah, well, give me that blow. Oh, yeah, what are we doing? Huge time. Michael Jordan's kid. I might not have been able to. I didn't even take that off. I might not be able to hoop like my dad, but did you ever see my dad do lines like these? Give me that cocaine. Pass that cocaine over here. No, I didn't get a chance to play in the NBA like my dad. But I bet you you know what I'll do? I'm gonna sleep with his Robin's wife. How do you think? I always wondered, like, how do you think Jay really felt about that whole Larsa pimping thing? Okay, that was esoteric. Back to sports. It's more cathartic. And I just wanted to get that off my chest. I hate cocaine. I just like how it smells. I'm Michael Jordan's son. So? Exactly. Why would you say that? That's exactly what you don't say. Low profile. Low profile. And then the perp walk? Hold on. Not the, no. Not this, though. Hold on. This is like, I hate my dad. Do you think Marcus Jordan hates his father? I hate my dad. God damn. Now, I'm not saying that he needs to live a life. I'm not saying that he needs to live a life that shines brightly upon his father. It just seems like he doesn't like his dad. Did you guys ever see the one where he's just doing blow in public? Dude thought he was Hunter Biden. Exactly. I said, California, you get a lot of those taxes when Luka. I know. If you're Luka Doncic and you go from paying no state tax to now being in California, you got to feel. He said that he was still kind of shocked. And I don't know if he's completely on board for the whole deal, but he's saying all the right things. And it's like, you just went from the perfect tax basketball situation to a complete circus. I think people think, like, I've seen by the way, Gil's Arena, one of the best things on the internet. I recommend watching it just to watch Rashard McCants and Gilbert Arenas argue with each other. Swaggy P's hilarious on there. Our boy Kenya Martin's on there. Sometimes Brandon Jennings is on there. It's a really good, I like what they're doing. But, you know, so Gil and them are LA natives, so they're just over the moon about Luka. And in truth, it's like, I don't think playing for the Lakers is that thing that it used to be. It would have been that thing for a Kobe Bryant or guys of our ilk. But this new generation, it's a hassle. It's just a hassle. It's just what's expected of you. Also, there's an MIT study about success, and it proved that luck and family socioeconomic status has the most to do with financial success. It's called nepotism. Hello, Marcus Jordan. And still can't figure out water, but vote blue. I wouldn't recommend it. Kelly voted for Arnold. He was a Republican, but until he gave campaign finance reform, we can't talk about red versus blue. How come there's never been a movement by the Jews? They've been nearly annihilated from the planet. I will reserve comment. Extremely disrespectful. But he doesn't want to sleep with Rodman's ex-wife. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't try it. Hate when that happens. Dude finally isn't dunking from the free throw line. Exactly. I made a wrong turn into this ditch. Must be adopted. I don't know. I think this is Juanita's son. I bet you that's what Michael calls him. That's Juanita's son. That's Juanita's son. Cop was mad that Marcus Jordan's granddad still owed him money and never got. Yee, fishing. That's vicious. That's hardcore. That's hardcore. Totally fine. Totally fine behind the wheel. I'm great. I'm fine. It's fine. It's not what you know, it's who you know. I just think that it's crazy. I think it's is that Jussie Smollett? He looks so. God, my dad is an asshole. I never got hugs from my dad. That's this picture. Look up Ant is MJ's kid conspiracy theory. It's amazing. Okay, we're doing it. Hold on. Now, I knew that there was a Jimmy Butler one. I didn't know that this Ant Trey 5 one is. So Ant 5 is a real one. AE5 is a real one. Ant is MJ's kid conspiracy. Hey, man, I really want to thank you guys for putting up with my ranting. I really do. I really do. I appreciate you guys putting up with that rant that I had earlier. I just needed to get some shit off my chest, and I appreciate you guys letting me do.
Is Anthony Edwards being compared to Michael Jordan?
Why? Tell me.
Hall of Famer Kevin Garnett say this.
I'm gonna put my bread on young fella. He like a young '84 Jordan, boy. You hear me?
And going even further, what has made the man himself, Michael Jordan, tell Chris Broussard?
I reached out to the GOAT himself, and he told me he does indeed see the similarities in his game and Anthony Edwards' game.
Michael Jordan himself sees similarities in their games. Very interesting. What's up, guys? Mike here. And recently, a lot of people have been comparing Anthony Edwards to Michael Jordan, but I think Anthony Edwards' own words here will calm the storm a bit.
I think he's right, for sure. 84 Jordan. He didn't say 96, 97. He said 84. You know, he's finding himself. So.
Well, this is more comparing their games. Hold on. Let's let them cook. And let me see if I can find it.
Yes, 84 Jordan, not prime Jordan. And also, recently on a podcast with Complex, Anthony Edwards
Thank you, Fishin'. I
You
appreciate
could be the next Michael Jordan. When you hear comparisons like that, what comes to mind for you?
I just want him to stop.
Do you feel like MJ could guard you?
Hell no. No.
So let's stop the exaggerations ourselves. Let's listen to Ant. Let's let him be his own man, because even if he never reaches the level of Michael Jordan, the greatest player of all time, the Michael Jordan conversation is clouding the fact that Anthony Edwards is on track to be in the MVP discussion and the #1 guy on a championship contender for years to come. We need to remember, Anthony Edwards is only 22 years old and already has the Timberwolves near the top of the Western Conference, which is much more impressive than you might think. The Wolves have quite literally been one of the worst franchises in all of NBA history, as after Ant's rookie year, they were a team that had made the playoffs just once in 17 seasons, but now Minnesota is going to make the postseason for the third straight year. The Timberwolves have never reached that.
Here's one better. Let me see. Is Anthony Edwards Michael Jordan's son?
There's no denying it. Anthony Edwards and Michael Jordan look really similar to one another. The fact that Anthony Edwards is just 22 years old also means that Michael Jordan could potentially be the father of Anthony Edwards. They even play the game of basketball similarly. They play the same position, for crying out loud. They have the same demeanor. They both love to trash talk. And most famously, this one tweet is the biggest indicator that this could be the truth. Michael Jordan says he was sleeping with 3 to 5 women per day during the 2001 season. It was during my later years. Women were coming to me left and right. I have kids out there I haven't met. I'm sure one of them is currently in the NBA. This adds up perfectly.
That's NBA Centel that did that.
Is absolutely unequivocally fake. Look, it's a cute rumor. If this is true, it would also mean Jimmy Butler and Anthony Edwards are brothers. And because of all this information, people are speculating that Anthony.
Okay. I'm. You know, I love nothing more than a good conspiracy theory. You guys know that I love nothing more than a good conspiracy theory. 2001, Michael Jordan. Was Michael Jordan even? No. I don't see it. I don't see it. He looks like him, though. So this is claiming Ant doesn't know his dad. Right? Right. Fun fact, Jordan's house in Chicago. Did you know all the old furniture is still intact and you can't buy the house without taking in the... What? What kind of psycho shit is that? That's psychotic. You have to buy the house and with the furniture intact? That's so nobody ever buys it, right? So it'll be some weird shrine? He only played basketball. Like, come on. That's weird. It turns out half the league is Jordan's son. Oh my God in heaven. You know who's not Michael Jordan's son, but is really good at basketball? God, you guys, Nuggets fan. All right, I feel a lot better. You guys really helped me out. You know who's really not? Who's really? I really want one. I want this kid as a Nugget. I also heard rumors about. Well, not rumors, but I heard somebody say like, you know who I want to see? I want to see Steph and Joker play together. And I was like, who are you telling? This kid. Amen Thompson is like,
you talk about a guy
my
just,
obsession
in terms of patience, work ethic. Oh, Thompson! What a Euro step! A little English off the glass.
Look at Amen Thompson, just like ball control skills. He's big. He's strong. He's nasty. Watch. Put him on skates. Oh, how do we get Amen Thompson out of, like, how do we fleece Houston for Amen Thompson? I wonder if he goes by Amen or Amen. How do we fleece them for Amen Thompson the way that OKC lost James Harden? Because that's who he is to that squad. He's their James Harden. How do we get him out of Houston? Christian Brown looks like Joe. Jordan wrote that in his deal for buying the house. That's psychotic. That makes zero sense. Like, I want whoever lives in this house to remember that I lived in this house. What would be weird? Are you sure, Fishing, that you're not Michael Jordan's son? Are you positive? Jordan was psychotic? Check. Yeah, but that's still kind of like, damn. We could get Amen Thompson's brother. He had 11 steals versus the Knicks. 11. Double-digit steals is wild. He's really good at basketball. What else we got? Oh, this. That's tough. God. Jalen Green is really good at basketball and jumping. Look at this lay. I was going to bam it, but I'll just lay it in with my left. All these kids, I'll tell you this, all these kids are Michael Jordan's kids in terms of hang time and highlights. Hang time highlights, they're all Jordan's kids. Maybe Jordan's dad was visiting the sperm bank to pay his bets. You know what I'm saying? Just collecting a little bit of. Listen, son, I don't ask you for much. I don't ask you for a lot. Just put some in the jar. Put some in the jar. I got a thing worked out. I got a thing with this girl over here. She put it in the bank. She gonna spread it around, but I get like, you know what I'm saying? For every one of you. Gross until you think about horse racing. I know it sounds dehumanizing. But Sunday silence, when you get a horse that wins the Triple Crown or wins one of the big races that lead up to the Triple Crown, wins the Kentucky Derby, wins the Belmont Stakes or something like that, that guy is a breeder. You don't think they would breed Michael Jordan? Come on. Freeze dried is this is 2025. I say this all the time. To you guys. You are my group of extraordinary. You are my league of extraordinary gentlemen and women, for those of you who just like to lurk, and lurkers. And I think I've reached the point where I've kind of tuckered myself out and I just want to talk to my kids. I just want to call my kids and just tell them I love them. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, but we don't really fuck with those people. I'm kidding. I'm going to be here doing this thing. And today was one of those days that reminded me of why I want to do it in that other way. And I've kind of been holding my tongue, to be honest with you, because the year's just been off to such a precocious start. I don't want to rant. I want to come up with solutions. I don't want to just complain. I want to coalesce with like-minded individuals and put some healing out in the world. So I know that it's important to be careful with my voice, but I also have to be authentic. And I appreciate you guys for letting me be that. I really do. I appreciate you guys not being so rigid and stodgy that you at least, won't allow me to just, do my thing. And for listening to me be, at times probably a little too verbose with the, anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. I really do. I got love for you guys like you wouldn't believe. This thing is like church for me. And every time I can get in here and work shit out, it really does wonders for me. So to all of you guys, I really, really have free market. You're very welcome, Andon. You're very welcome, Fishing. That's one time for the hood. I'm working on my board, so Andon, Conga, Fishing, Timothy Rimothy, you guys are the usual suspects. And I really am. I'm really thankful for D-Mac for inviting me over here on these here airwaves to do this shit, and for you guys riding with me while I do it. So with that being said, we'll get about it tomorrow, and I promise, we might keep it sports. Maybe. But I wouldn't count on it. Later.
And now it's time to play everybody's favorite game. Good
news. We can't run.